हमारा मजहब नहीं सिखाता आपस में बैर रखना। हिंदी है हम वतन है जे हिंदुस्तान हमारा। ਅਸੀਂ ਛੱਡਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹਦਾ ਖੜਾ। ਪਰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਦੇ ਉਸ ਫਕਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਤੰਗ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਹੀ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਇਹ ਲਾਈਨ ਨਿਕਲੀ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਰਮ ਆਤੀ ਹੈ ਆਪ ਇਸੇ ਵਤਨ कहते हुए। ਛੋਟਾ ਹਾਂ ਗਿਆਨ ਪੱਖੋਂ ਵੀ, ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਸ ਲਾਈਨ ਦਾ ਖੜਾ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਦ੍ਰਿੜਤਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਹਿਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ कि मुद्दतें गुजरी जुल्मों से तुम सहते हुए, शर्म आती है अब उसको वतन कहते हुए। खालसा जी की तुसी सहमत हो इस गल नाल? ते फिर आपां नूं जकारे दी गूंज विच कहना चाहिदा सी कि शर्म आउंदी है सानूं उस देश नूं अपना देश कहंदे होया। दास बेनती करे साडे वीर जतिंदर सिंह नूं कि वो भी कुछ कु मिनट अपने जिहड़े विचार ने वो आप संगतां दे नाल साझे करन। उपरंत ऑटवा तो साडे वड्डे भाई साहब सरदार दलीप सिंह जी परवाना वो भी कुछ मिनट आप जी दे नाल विचार साझे करनगे। साडे छोटे वीर जतिंदर सिंह जी।
वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह। अज मैं आपकी स्पीच इंग्लिश विच देवांगा। It's been 26 years since the state of India conducted an organized and systematic campaign of killing Sikhs across India. Yet the world knows little of what happened in 1984. In fact, many in our own community knew very little. Up until recently, many of us called 1984 Sikh genocide riots. And many of us believe that the genocide only occurred in one city. But this is not true. The misinformation campaign that has begun to run against our community almost succeeded in rewriting history. By working together with one voice, we have been able to start a campaign to educate everyone and bring forward the truth of what happened in 1984. This process will only be helped by each of us here today working together as one community. Since 1984, the Sikhs have been told that this is not your history, this is your history. That this is not what has been happening to you, this is what's happening to you. And that if you want to say something, you have two options. You can either stay quiet and sit in the corner, or you can stand up and be labeled terrorists. But this is not true. Since 1984, in the year 2010 and 2009, the Sikh community has finally come together to tell the world that no, that is not our history, this is our history. That is not what is happening to us, this is what is happening to us. And we do not only have two options, either stay quiet or be labeled genocide, we have a third option. And that option is to demand justice from the international community. When our community became educated and started to share this with the rest of Canada, the genocide that happened to us in 1984, some people started to get scared. Some agencies started to get scared. And with this fear, they started to work overtime on their misinformation campaign. They said to us that this is not the responsibility of Canada, what happened in November 1984 to the Sikhs. They said to us that we are not true Canadians if we bring these issues up in Canada, for this did not happen in Canada, it happened in India. But this is not true. Canada has been a champion of human rights amongst many nations. In 1947 and 1948, Canada played a central role in the drafting of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Since then, Canada has signed 20 more international treaties in regards to human rights. When in 1948 the Convention of Genocide was written, it was made clear to everyone that the definition of genocide is the complete or partial destruction of a community based on their nationality, race, ethnicity, or religious beliefs. In our case, it was because we were simply Sikhs. And if any country thinks another country is committing genocide, It is that country's responsibility to take the guilty country to the International Court of Justice. So today, if Canada truly learned what happened to the Sikhs in 1984, the Sikh genocide, it will be Canada's duty and obligation to take India to the International Court of Justice. It is with this that the misinformation campaign has begun. So from now on, if anyone comes to you and says to you, this is not Canada's responsibility, you know they are lying. If anybody comes to you and says, you are not being good Canadians by bringing this up in Canada today, you know they are lying. And if anybody says to you that even if Canada accepts the genocide, even if Canada feels the pain of the Sikh community, Canada can do nothing to help you, you know they are lying. And to those people, I say that we are the true Canadians. We are the ones who are standing shoulder to shoulder with Canada in regards to its obligations to the international community. We are the ones who are standing shoulder to shoulder in regards to Canada and its values on human rights. We are the ones who are standing shoulder to shoulder with Canada in regards to its reputation as a human rights advocate. It is those that say it is not Canada's responsibility who are not true Canadians, for they have obligations to foreign nations, not this beautiful country of ours. I will also point to these people that in 2004, Canada recognized the Armenian killings of 1918 as a genocide, when many nations have not. Even today, the United States of America does not recognize the Armenian genocide as a genocide, but Canada does. So with a united effort and an education campaign, we will be able to make Canada recognize the genocide of 1984 against the Sikhs, and we will be able to obtain justice for our brethren. But together, if we work on this. But the question is, how do we work together on this? Is it fair for us to ask everybody here today to dedicate 12 hours of their day towards the issue of human rights? It is not. Many of you here today came to Canada from Punjab with very little money and with very little knowledge of even English. But working hard together as one, you have been able to build a community envied by many others. Today, the Sikh community in Canada is decades ahead of other communities who have been here longer than us. When others went on vacation, the Sikh community chose to save their money and work hard. When other people worked only 8 hours, the Sikh community chose to work 12 hours and do that overtime to make sure we had more opportunity. When other people came home and watched their television, the Sikh community decided to dedicate their hours to volunteering in politics, in sports, in making sure that the children received a lot of opportunity, and in our gurdwaras to make sure that our community worked collectively. As a result, today, many people look at us and say Sikhs are one of the most strongest and hardest working communities around. Not just in Canada, but I would say in the world. So it would not be fair for this responsibility to fall upon each of you who have dedicated so much to bring this issue forward. This issue must be shared by your children born and raised in Canada. The children born and raised in Canada do not find it difficult to speak in English. The children born and raised in Canada do not find it difficult to research the actual facts of what happened in 1984 and the systematic genocide against our people. The children born in Canada have ample time to work on this issue, and together we will be able to bring it forward. If today we as a community decide that this issue must be front and center, I will tell you, together we will be able to obtain justice for each of the men, women, and children who were systematically eliminated in India in 1984, genocide. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.